So on that key concept, the Earth is flat, circular disk rotating counterclockwise like a record. At its center is Polaris, the fixed North Star, the spindle of the record. This rotation gives the rise to the illusion of the sun rising in the east and setting in the west. Like phasing in and out in the changing arc in the sky is not an axis tilt. Time-lapse photography around Polaris shows counterclockwise star trails centered directly above the North Pole. Observers at any location in the North Hemisphere can verify Polaris is nearly stationary. In Chapter 2, we'll explore that the sun is fixed but phases through the grooves. The sun is not orbiting Earth, it is locally fixed, like the tonearm on a record player. The sun follows 365 grooves, incrementally shifting the inner grooves, June solstice, to outer grooves, December solstice, and back. Each groove represents a daily path, giving us seasons via light and angle modulation. The solar Anemola path, a long-term photography, captures the sun making a figure 8 or infinity pattern in the sky. This is due to the sun's incremental groove shifting, not vertical rising and falling. You can verify with the solar Analemma, time-lapse imagery, confirmed through daylight length increase in one hemisphere, decrease in the other. Chapter 3, Magnetic Attractors, North and South. The center of the record disk is the North Magnetic Attractor, Polaris region. The outer rim is the Southern Magnetic Ring, encompassing the Antarctic boundary. These act like phase attractors, modulating the sun's motion between hemispheres. The sun never rises or falls, it magnetically phases inward and outward over time. This model does not depend on gravity, but on magnetic and harmonic resonance. Chapter 4 is star rotations and the celestial poles. So the North Celestial Pole, Polaris, is near the exact North Celestial Pole. You can stand directly underneath and observe a consistent central star rotation. The South Celestial Pole, no star marks the SCP, as we've categorized it, only explorations based on Crux constellation axis. I have a body of work later that will talk about that. That's more of a spirituality symbolism. However, observers in different southern hemisphere locations see clockwise star rotations, but not from a single fixed point like Polaris. No shared, simultaneously central view from all south points. This challenged the very fundamentals of the globe model. People in Australia, Chile, and South Africa observe the same type of motion, but not from one shared location or at the same time. The absence of a fixed South Pole observation point validates the record disk model. Chapter 5, the moon is a mere reflection off the firmament. The moon is not a physical body orbiting Earth. It appears to reflect Earth's features, distorted and inverted like a mirror to the firmament. This supports the idea that the firmament is reflective, refractive, and recursive. Chapter 6, the firmament and its membrane, not a dome. The firmament is a living interface, not a static glass dome. It encodes frequency, memory, consciousness, and modulates wave collapse. It acts as a recursive boundary, reflecting back intention and thought. This was my quote from before. Some people that have seen my social have seen this, and I got some really good feedback from some people, so thank you for those supporters. But the firmament is not a static dome or boundary, but a dynamic, vibrational membrane, a living interface between light, consciousness, and our field structure. Chapter 7 will be my closing reflections and the overview, and sometimes maybe, and then some about what some next steps we all can take. But I encourage people to test the model through their own observations. This is not retrofitted to fit one. I invite community contribution, refine it, falsify it, expand it. And then I also do have a guidebook that's going to go with this presentation. I'll set up a link or a way to access it, but I have publicated it, and I've started to put summaries of the guidebook a little bit too on social platforms. And then I'll have some recordings that will actually be made of this message as well and sent out. So that'll be cool. So yeah, so that closes chapter 1 and the overall breakdown of the structure of the Codex. So before we move on, again, I would just like to emphasize that right now a lot of people might have already clicked off, let's just be honest. However, those who are still here at this moment and diving into the information, you're going to see throughout this body of work how it ties all these things together that we've really been seeing, and why, even in some respects, there are a lot of reasons this stuff isn't talked about. It's not really taught at school. But the concepts built in the model are not new to us. It's not new to me. It's just almost a sense of re-remembering and like an aha moments, right? And so, again, have compassion with yourself as you go through this. But that closes chapter 1 and the base concept that you live on a spinning record and that the sun is fixed but also has a magnetic pull across that flat rotating surface. Like the tonearm, but never touches the record, but is up in the sky. And then you'll see even seasonally how the moon plays into that reflection. So again, thank you for that. I'm going to stop this video and reset for a moment before we dive into chapter 2 and the rest of this. And these are actually just it's kind of actually quick little chapter references. The information can even go deeper once people start looking into it, which is great. That's what I believe is going to be pretty expansive towards that. It helps people tie a lot of things together that even independently do their own little research on things, if that makes sense. So thank you for your time.